southernmost part of the Philippines lies Mindanao, the country's food basket and a major contributor to national export and trade. As an emerging center and gateway for Southeast Asian trade, Mindanao faces growing prospects for development. This makes urgent the need to transform and professionalize its human capital to fully maximize these opportunities. In line with the national agenda for inclusive development, through collaborative partnerships between the government, academia and industry, the University of the Philippines Los Baños and Anflow Management and Investment Corporation established the UP Professional School for Agriculture and the Environment, or UP-PISAE. Based in the agritourism site of Agria, Panabo City in Davao del Norte, the UP-PISAE aims to accelerate development in Mindanao by bringing UPLB's expertise in agriculture, forestry, and environmental science to the Philippine South. It envisions to train professionals who are immersed in the social and industry needs of Mindanao and equip them with higher-level knowledge and skills to create research-based interdisciplinary solutions. It aims to capacitate local government units, state universities and colleges, and industry professionals in these areas. With its off-campus graduate programs and short courses, UP-PISAE is an accessible hub for knowledge sharing in agriculture, environmental science, and related disciplines. The professional school offers a rich learning experience for students by linking them directly to experts and providing them access to knowledge resources using information and communication technology. Its industry partners act as field laboratories where students can apply practical research to real-world scenarios and create new knowledge relevant to the needs of the industry. The UP-PISAE also disseminates knowledge through various learning activities that promote discussions about agriculture and the environment, encouraging linkages that lead to further collaborative efforts. As an extension campus of UPLB, the UP-PISAE strengthens the National University's mandate to make research, graduate programs, and public service initiatives responsive to the needs of the Filipino people and to contribute to social progress and transformation. The UP Professional School for Agriculture and the Environment. UP Education within reach.
Everyone, please settle down. We will begin the program in a few minutes.
Please all rise for the entrance of colors and the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
You may now be seated.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a momentous occasion as we commemorate the 117th founding anniversary of our beloved institution, the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. We celebrate our university's rich history across the years as we continue to work towards the future, embodying the role of providing quality education, dynamic knowledge, and impactful public service. I am Ranilo Jose D. Flores.
And I am Jen Basileres. Welcome to the 117th UPLB Foundation Day Convocation and Awarding Ceremony. this meaningful occasion, we gather to celebrate 117 years of honor, excellence, and service to the nation. Join us today as we kick off this year's celebration.
We would like to remind everyone that we are streaming live on UPLB's official Facebook page and YouTube channel. To those tuning in online and to those who are with us this morning at the Charles Fuller Baker Memorial Hall, we are delighted to be with you as we celebrate our university's history, accomplishments, and service to the community.
With that, we would like to invite everyone to the Kalakalan 2026 happening right now at the Freedom Park. They are open today from 12 noon to 7 p.m. and tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. Let us support our local traders as we celebrate this institutional milestone with our community.
And now to give his opening remarks, let's welcome the proactive and visionary leader of UP Los Baños, whose future-proofing initiatives truly helped the university achieve greater heights. Let's give a big hand to our very own UPLB Chancellor, Professor Jose V. Camacho Jr.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Especially to our national scientist, Dr. Emil Javier, our former president and chancellor of UPLB, national scientist and academician, Dr. Dolores Ramirez, our former chancellor of UPLB, Dr. Ruben Villarreal, also academician of the Academy of Science and Technology. Of course, our guest of honor and speaker, kagagaling lamang po namin sa groundbreaking ceremony kasama po ang ating mahal na Pangulo, Secretary of Human Settlements and Urban Planning, Secretary Engineer Jose Ramon P. Aliling. And he's joined by the SUD Senior Undersecretary Eduardo Robles. Masaya po tayo sapagkat kasama po natin ang buong liderato, ang liderato ng University of the Philippines System, ang ating presidente, mahal na Pangulo, Attorney Angelo Jimenez. Kasama po ang ating mga Vice President, nandiyan po si Peter C., si Dan Peckley, Ma'am Marian Roquia. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo, ma'am. At ang ating Special Assistant to President Doji Lopez. Ang ating mga professor, dito lagi ako nagkakamali, Professor Emeriti. Nandito po sila, mahal na Pangulo, para makipag-celebrate sa atin. Ang ating mga Professor Emeriti. And our partner, university partner, from York University, Associate Dean Maria Joal Maciel Jorge, and Director Helen Valderrama, and distinguished university officials. Our deans are here, full force. Our vice chancellors are here. Esteemed faculty and staff, all our awardees, alumni, our partners, ang ating mga estudyante, and members of the UPLB academic community. Magandang umaga po, and welcome to this 117th Foundation Day. And today, we gather not only to celebrate another year in the life of our university, but also to reflect on the journey that has brought us here and the many shared purpose that continues to guide us forward. This year's theme, Rooted in Honor, Growing in Sustainability, UPLB Advancing the SDGs for Excellence in the Service of the Nation. Mahaba po, no? But all of this capture both the path we have traveled and the direction we are headed to. For 117 years, UPLB has stood as a national institution, a treasure dedicated to advancing knowledge and serving the Filipino people. From its beginning as tent school with a handful of students, lagi pong pinagmamalaki ito ng ating mahal na Pangulo, na ang UPLB ay nag-umpisa sa tent kasama ang mga iba pang mga estudyante. Dala nila ang kanilang mga bolo para pasinayaan ang isang universidad. And from there, UPLB has evolved into a comprehensive research university recognized globally for its leadership in agriculture, forestry, environmental science, development communication, veterinary medicine, and of course, engineering. Hindi rin pahuhuli ang aking field, economics, and many other fields. Yet even as we have grown in scope and in influence, we remain steadfast in the values that define us: honor, excellence, and service. And these values are not merely ideals that we invoke during celebrations such as this. They are the very principles that shape how we respond to the challenges of our time. And today, more than ever, those challenges demand the full measure of our collective expertise, our creativity, and our commitment. And across the country and around the world, societies are grappling with complex issues: poverty, food insecurity, climate change, environmental degradation, and the need for an innovation-driven development. And over the past year, our community has continued to demonstrate how a public university can rise to meet these challenges, not just generating knowledge, but translating this into meaningful, practical, and impactful solutions. And one of the most important initiatives that we have launched in 2024 is the Department of Education Laguna and the UPLB Partnership Program known as DUNO, or Nurturing Opportunities for the Next Generation Towards Ending Learning Poverty in the Philippines. We established DUNO in response to the country's learning crisis, adopting a tri-pronged approach that addresses the many dimensions of the learning crisis. So first, this DUNONG implements targeted interventions to strengthen reading comprehension among young learners. Second, DUNONG provides supplementary feeding programs that will help ensure children with the necessary nutritional requirements for effective learning. And third, it offers capacity building for teachers, recognizing that empowering educators is essential for sustained educational improvement. The impact of this initiative has already begun to gain recognition. DUNONG has received many awards, grants, donations from our esteemed partners who share our commitment to improving educational outcomes. And more importantly, DUNONG demonstrates how UPLB works with government agencies and communities to address one of the most pressing issues in the country today. At the same time, UPLB continues to strengthen its leadership in scientific research and agricultural innovation. Soon, we will witness the completion of the Agricultural Genomics Research Center, a landmark facility developed through the joint collaboration of UPLB with IRI and the Korean International Cooperation Agency, or KOICA. The genomics building will serve as vital regional hub for plant breeding and genomics research. supporting developments of climate-resilient and high-yielding varieties by advancing cutting-edge agricultural science. The genomics facility will help ensure the Philippines will remain prepared to meet future food security challenges. UPLB has continued to play a significant role in strengthening Philippine higher education. Last year, we successfully concluded the second batch of the Higher Education Leadership Mentoring Fellows, or the HELM Fellows program. And through this initiative, there were 50 fellows from our partner higher education institutions participated in an intensive leadership training and development program designed to cultivate the next tier of academic leaders. We have also lent our support to the Accelerate program. Accelerate is an online review initiative that we have partnered with the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, which helped raise the passing rate of our participating state university and college institutions in the licensure exam in agriculture and in forestry. In the agriculture examination, there was a 16% notable increase in the performance of the examinees from our partner universities. Through this initiative, institutions from geographically remote areas, from Sulu State College, Tawi-Tawi Regional Agricultural College, Romblon State University, we saw their passing rates increase by as much as 100%. Maraming salamat, Dean Dong Angeles, and to our colleagues from the College of Agriculture and Food Science. Sumunod dito ang College of Forestry and Natural Resources na mag-conduct ng review sa forestry licensure examination, and there was a noted increase in the performance of the examinees from our partner universities. Ang resulta po ay isang positive problem. Marami tayong mga SUCs na gustong sumali dito sa review sessions na ating ginaganap. By sharing our institutional resources, our expertise, and mentoring our colleagues and students from across the country, our university contributes to building a stronger, more resilient higher education that can better serve students and communities nationwide. And in line with our local partnership endeavors, we are also proud to declare the imminent completion of the Tau Alpha Sports Complex, which was donated to us by Jose Aliling Group. And earlier this morning, we also attended the groundbreaking for the rental housing project we are undertaking in partnership with the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, or DHSUD, on its program Expanded Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino, or 4PH program. And so, my friends, beyond all these initiatives, UPLB has also expanded its global engagement and partnership. Over the past years, we have strengthened collaboration with international institutions and organizations, including Global Affairs Canada, exploratory engagement with the International Institute for Social Studies in The Hague, Netherlands, and our continuing partnership with universities such as Nagoya University in Japan, Brock University in Canada, York University in Canada, and Kasetsart University in Thailand. So all these collaborations enable us to share knowledge, to pursue joint research and address global challenges through collective expertise. All of this reaffirm UPLB's place within an international network of institutions committed to sustainable development and innovation. And within our own institution, we have also taken an important step toward strengthening the university's innovation ecosystem by establishing a new office, the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Innovation and Enterprise Management, the seventh office of the Vice Chancellor. This new office is tasked with leading and streamlining UPLB's initiatives in technology transfer, innovation development, and enterprise management. And through this effort, we seek to ensure that the discoveries we made in our laboratories and research centers, they are translated into enterprises that will serve as solutions and will benefit communities, industries, and the nations as a whole. And of course, none of these accomplishments would have been possible without the dedication and the excellence of the people who make up the UPLB community. Our faculty, our researchers, extension staff, our students, our esteemed alumni, all of them, they continue to embody the ideals that define UPLB. And today's convocation, we give the opportunity to recognize our outstanding faculty, staff, members who contributed and exemplified the highest standards of public service and academic excellence. Their work strengthens not only these institutions, but also the broader mission of the University of the Philippines system to serve the Filipino people. As we celebrate 117 years of UPLB, we are reminded that the strength of a university lies not only in its history, but also in its ability to adapt, to innovate, and lead in changing times. The road ahead will undoubtedly bring new challenges, yet it will bring new opportunities to deepen our research and expand our partnerships, to empower our students, and further align our work with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. All of this will guide our collective pursuit of a more equitable and sustainable future. And so as we look forward, and through all the years ahead, let us remain guided by the values that have sustained the university since its founding 117 years ago. Let us continue to be rooted in honor, unwavering in our commitment to integrity and public service. And let us keep growing in sustainability, ensuring that our work continues meaningfully to the well-being of communities, our nation, and our planet. On this 117th Foundation Day, may we all reaffirm our shared pursuit of excellence, commitment to innovation, and dedication to the enduring mission of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, to advance knowledge in service to the Filipino people. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang UP Los Baños.
Camacho for that inspiring message. We now invite the President of the University of the Philippines System, Attorney Angelo A. Jimenez, to deliver his message to the UPLB community.
Maayong buntag sa atong tanan. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Kay Chancellor Don Camacho, our visionary Chancellor. Kay kalihim ng DHSUD, Department of Human Settlement and Housing Development, DHSUD. Ping Aliling, sir. Kay National Scientist and former President Dr. Emil Q. Javier na nandito sa atin ngayon at kasama ko kanina, sa lahat ng mga opisyales ng UP System at lahat ng magigiting na opisyales at miyembro ng komunidad ng UPLB. Muli, magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Siguro sa may sabit na ganito, lalo na kay Secretary Ping, alam mo, when UPLB wants you to know that they think that you are important, they hang a noose around our neck. So they know the VIPs. Thank you very much. So it's always a pleasure to be here in these verdant hills and flatlands between the magical Mount Makiling and its foothills and the shores of Laguna de Bai, the most beautiful campus in the UP system. It has a way of calming the stress, but sometimes it stresses the calm. But this is always a very special place for me, so thank you. I cannot count the number of times I've been here on this occasion since I went back to UP. I came back to UP in 2016, but it's always a happy occasion, so I wouldn't mind waking up very early in the morning to travel here. And I hope to spend the night here as well. So, UPLB never ceases to inspire me. This campus embodies the spirit of the pioneer. The people who are willing to take great sacrifices to build something bigger than themselves, and not just for themselves, but for others, and not just for others, for generations to come. It is always a pleasure for me to keep on coming back here and seeing it grow in stature, including its aesthetics as well. So I would like always to honor those original 12 students and their 5 professors who live in huts, brave the wind and the cold and the heat to hack out with their bare hands from the forest a great campus like that we see today. So UPLB is our second university, and it has grown bigger. I promise you it will grow even bigger, not just in size but in stature, as urban development moves to the south of Manila. And this will become a very, very highly urbanized area, so let us prepare for that. But this is your anniversary day, your 117th anniversary day. I know a lot of serious stuff has been said by Chancellor Camacho. So just to simplify things, I would just like to adapt in toto everything that he said and focus instead perhaps on something more with levity. So we gather here in gratitude and pride to celebrate our 117th university and honor the exceptional men and women who embody the very best of UP. So for 117 years, UPLB has stood firm in its mandate as a beacon of honor, excellence, and service. That is very clear. UPLB is the most service-oriented and entrepreneurial university across the UP system. From its beginnings as an agricultural school to its growth as the country's first autonomous constituent university, UPLB has remained steadfast in its mission to generate knowledge through research, innovation, and extension. It has worked to shape Philippine society across agriculture and forestry, economics and management, arts and sciences, engineering and veterinary medicine, well beyond the borders of this campus, and indeed all over the world. UPLB's history, as I said, is one of resilience. It endured war and destruction, rose from the ashes of post-war reconstruction, and went on to become a global hub for agriculture and scientific research. It helped usher in institutions and partnerships that transformed food production, environmental stewardship, and the rural development not only for the Philippines, but then again, as I said, for the world. So from this campus have emerged many leaders who have placed their expertise to the service of the Filipino people, confronting challenges such as food security, biodiversity loss, public health, and sustainable development. Through extension work, UPLB has consistently brought science to the grassroots, empowering farmers, fisherfolk, and local communities. This, I would like to stress, is the UP spirit made manifest and tangible. Eskwela ng bayan para sa bayan. So as we mark this 107th year, we look back with pride even as we renew our commitment to the future. The challenges before us are complex and deeply interconnected, and we must prepare to embrace them all. Issues of sustainability, equity, and development do not exist in isolation, but then I know you know that already. They form a web in which one concern inevitably affects another. Yet this complexity has never deterred UPLB from pursuing sound, inclusive, and lasting solutions. In this collective effort, there will be no small roles, only shared responsibility, and that would make even the most difficult task easier for all of us. Courage, creativity, and collaboration are essential as you carry on the daily work of teaching, research, extension, and service. It is therefore fitting that on this Foundation Day, we recognize the men and women who quietly, steadily sustain this university and help it fulfill its mandate to the nation and to the world. Often there is no spotlight, no applause, only the occasional pat on the back. Yes, and yet, through your diligence and dedication, the torch of learning continues to burn. To this year's outstanding personal awardees, you serve with humility, patience, integrity, and selflessness, and that I truly admire. Your work brings life and meaning to this campus by the mountainside. UPLB works because you work, and you work very hard. So, under the shadow of the looming Mount Makiling, I am reminded of Robert Frost's poem about two roads diverging in the woods. You chose the one less traveled, and that has made all the difference for all of us here today. And what a difference you have made for this university and these people. To our younger faculty and staff, and to our students, may these awardees inspire you as they have inspired me. Remember that excellence is a daily choice, integrity is a lifelong commitment, service is a shared calling. Yan po ang isa-isip natin sakaling pumasok ang pag-aalinlangan. At napakahalaga po ng salitaing yan sa panahon ngayon. To be part of UP is to be among the country's best, but then everyone knows that already. And standing before us today are individuals who exemplify the very best in the chosen fields. What you give to UP Los Baños is a legacy that will endure and inspire generations to come. You can be sure of that, as those 12 original students and their 5 professors inspired us today, 117 years after we were founded. Maraming salamat po sa inyong walang sawang paglilingkod. Happy 117th anniversary, UPLB. Congratulations to our outstanding UP personnel. May we continue to serve with honor and excellence, always, always, lagit lagi, for the Filipino people. Daghang salamat sa inyong tanan, padayon, maayong buntag.
Our sincerest thanks to President Jimenez. Marami pong salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. To introduce our distinguished keynote speaker, may we call on the Dean of the College of Human Ecology, Professor Jennifer Marie S. Amparo.
Our keynote speaker this morning embodies the spirit of our celebration, being rooted in honor and growing in sustainability in the service of the nation. Engineer Jose Ramon Ping P. Aliling, Secretary of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. It is a distinguished civil engineer and public servant whose work advances sustainable, resilient, and inclusive human settlements across the country. A graduate of De La Salle University, a licensed civil engineer specializing in hydraulics and water resources. He has been recognized for both professional excellence and civic leadership, including being named one of the outstanding young men of the Philippines in civil engineering in 2015 for his impact on infrastructure development and community upliftment. His service orientation led him to be one of the governors of the Philippine Red Cross and director of the Confederation of Filipino Consulting Organizations, reflecting his strong dedication to both civic responsibility and professional excellence. And now, as Secretary of DHSUD, he leads transformative initiatives that strengthen housing programs, modernize governance processes, and promote dignified communities. Efforts that closely align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which our university continues to advance through our instruction, research, extension, and public service. As Secretary, he has outlined a forward-looking 8-point agenda that sets the tone for DHSUD's strategic direction. Among his top priorities are the expansion of the Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program, or 4PH, to include horizontal developments, reforms aimed at modernizing the department's regulatory processes through streamlined permitting and one-stop shops nationwide, and people-centric approach in addressing home buyers' concerns. Secretary Aliling's 8-point agenda serves as a call to action to build a DHSUD that is proactive, people-oriented, and focused on delivering dignified, sustainable housing for all. To the UPLB and UP community, as we celebrate our 170th year and reaffirm our commitment to sustainable development and nation building, it is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Secretary Jose Ramon Ping P. Aliling.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Dean Amparo. University of the Philippines President Angelo Jimenez, former UP President Emil Javier, the Honorable Board of Regents of the University of the Philippines, UPLB Chancellor Jose Camacho Jr., and the distinguished members of the Student University Council, faculty, staff, alumni, and most especially, the students of this great university. My co-workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It is a profound honor to be invited to stand before this distinguished assembly on the occasion of UPLB's 117th Foundation Day. Bago nga ako umalis sa bahay kanina, sabi ko sa aking mga magulang, sabi ko sa aking kapatid na sila ang mga alumni ng UP, pasensya na kayo, ang naimbitahan magsalita ay Lasallian. While I am an Atenean and a Lasallian by heart, I am deeply honored to be invited to speak during the Foundation Day of the UPLB. UPLB is a symbol of the pursuit of excellence and the unshakable belief that education, science, and service can transform a nation. 117 years. Think of what this institution has witnessed, endured, and built. And today, you celebrate not with complacency, but with a forward-looking challenge to advance the sustainable development goals in service of the nation. That is not just a theme, that is a declaration. The theme of today's celebration, rooted in honor, growing in sustainability, speaks directly what we at the DHSUD believe in. What is housing if not sustainability made physical? What is a home if the most fundamental SDG are not given concrete form? And what is a neighborhood if not a community's vote of confidence that tomorrow is worth building for? UPLB has long understood that the land we build on, the communities we grow, and the lives we shelter are all interconnected. It is no accident then that our two institutions, the UPLB and the DHSUD, have found each other in purpose and in partnership. Last December 2025, sabi ko kay Yusek Ed Robles, who's also an alumnus of the University of the Philippines, pasyal tayo sa UPLB para ma-inspeksyon natin yung pinapagawa nating basketball courts saka mga pickleball courts. Pagpasok po ng coaster namin dito sa campus, sinalubong kami ng escort. So, nagulat ako, dinala kami sa admin building. Sabi ko, mukhang nakidnap ako ah. So, naalala ko yun, hindi pa ako kasi naka-undershirt pala ako, yung panloob, nandun na, so nag-jacket na lang ako. Pagbaba ko, nandun sila Chancellor, saka si Vice Chancellor. So, nag-usap kami, then sabi ko, dumadalaw ako to inspect the basketball court, the Tao Alpha Sports Complex, under construction during that time. Then, napag-usapan namin yung housing. Sa galing po ni Chancellor, bago po ako tumayo, nakakommit na kami ng 2 building ng housing. Let me put that in perspective. The last housing project implemented inside the UPLB was during the 1980s, nearly 45 years ago. In the intervening decades, the university grew, the staff grew, the community grew, but the housing did not. That changes now. Just 2 months after that initial meeting, a testament to the urgency and goodwill of both sides, DHSUD and UPLB formally launched the expanded 4PH rental housing for the UPLB. This project will generate 400 units and will serve around 1,200 individuals. Tulad po na nasabi ko kanina, sa galing ulit ng ating Chancellor, yung 2 buildings na kinumit natin, naging 3 na. So, again, Ito po ay talagang nagpapatibay na ang national government ay talagang seryoso po. With our limited resources, of course, we are serious in addressing the housing backlog of the country. This project is modeled after our landmark Pook Marilag Residences project at UP Diliman, the pilot rental housing scheme under the expanded Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program. This project will have eight buildings once completed with around 1,300 units. So almost 4,000 individuals po ang titira dito once ma-complete natin ang proyektong ito. We are replicating that model here at UPLB because the needs of UP Los Baños are just as real, just as urgent, and just as deserving of the nation's nation's attention. The message we send today is simple. The national government sees you. DHSUD sees the janitor who commutes 3 hours because there is no housing near the campus. We see the utility worker who lives in makeshift structure by the creek. We see the families who have waited decades for security of land tenure. Finally, their wait is over. Allow me to briefly share the broader picture of what DHSUD has been doing under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., because I believe it speaks directly to the spirit of this celebration, service to the nation rooted in honor. As of today, the national government has assisted home buyers and delivered over 423,000 housing units under the expanded 4PH program since 2022. We are on track to deliver 1.1 housing units until 2028. Nearly 400,000 families have received assistance from the Pag-ibig Fund with close to 75 billion pesos in housing loans disbursed. These are not just numbers. Every unit is a family that no longer wakes up wondering if the rains will flood their home. Every certificate of entitlement is a parent who can finally look at their child in the eye and say, "Atin itong bahay na ito." Every key turned over is a Filipino whose dignity has been restored. We have also improved the 4PH program to be truly inclusive. Rental housing, subdivision type development, the enhanced community mortgage program, presidential proclamation, and incremental housing are the modalities under this program. We included different modalities because we know that not every Filipino can own a condominium unit. Some need to rent, some need a lot they can build on gradually. Some need the legal recognition of land they have been occupying for generations. The expanded 4PH is designed to meet each Filipino where they are. In 2025 alone, we deployed bayanihan villages, organized clusters of modular shelter units to communities devastated by earthquakes in Cebu and Davao Oriental, and by typhoons across the country. Because housing in crisis is not charity, it is dignity. It is the foundation upon which a community can begin to rebuild. And across all of this, we have held to one standard: no shortcuts, no corruption. Ito po ang lagi kong sinasabi sa aking mga katrabaho sa DHSUD. We cannot allow 10% of corruption. We cannot allow 1% of corruption. Kaya tayo nagkaganito, itong recent na nangyari sa atin sa flood control, dahil ang mindset natin, basta 5%, basta 2%, okay lang yan. Ang corruption kasi parang apo yan eh, hanggat di mo pinapatay. Pag yan ay nasilapan, nabuhusan ng something na malalaki yung apoy, before you know it, malaki na. Ito ang nangyari dito sa ating flood control controversy. Lagi ko rin sinasabi na ang paglaban po sa korupsyon, whether sinasabi nilang imposible o hindi, ay hindi dapat sukuan. Ang pagsuko po, paglaban ng korupsyon, ay parang pagsuko na rin sa ating bayan. I want to speak for a moment not as a secretary, but as a Filipino who believes deeply in what this university represents. This country needs you, not just the diplomas you confer, but the values you instill. Not just the research you produce, but the conscience you cultivate. The theme you have chosen, rooted in honor, growing in sustainability, is more than an aspirational language. It is a framework for how public service must be conducted in this country. Rooted in honor, because if a government servant cannot be trusted, no program will succeed. No peso will reach those who need it. No policy will translate into progress. Growing in sustainability, because solutions that do not consider the next generations are not solutions at all. Every UPLB graduate who enters public service carries this institution's name. Let it be a name that demands something of them. Let it be a name that insists to be honest, be rigorous, be useful. At DHSUD, we have been privileged to work alongside with UP graduates in our technical teams, our project planning offices, our policy units, our project management office. Pagka kailangan na namin na bumaba sa ground, makipag-usap, pag very tight na ang sitwasyon, I always rely on our UP alumni co-workers in DHSUD because I am confident na babalik sila na may resulta. Isa lang po ang pinagbibiling ko sa kanila bago ko i-deploy sa ground. Huwag kayong babalik nang hindi nyo dala-dala yung resultang gusto natin. Ang nangyari, hindi sila bumabalik. Hindi bumabalik ka agad. Pero pag bumalik after a few days, nandyan ang resulta. So, ganyan ang pagkilala natin sa mga UP graduates. When we often speak of service to the nation as something lofty and abstract, but I have come to believe, after years in this work, that service to the nation begins with something very concrete, very simple, and very profound. It begins with a home. When a family has a safe roof over their heads, a child can study without fear. When a worker has affordable housing near their workplace, they arrive rested and productive. When a community is well-planned, resilient, and sustainable, the community becomes capable of participating fully in the life of the nation. Housing is not just bricks and mortar. It is the infrastructure of human dignity. A human dignity is the foundation upon which every SDG, every development goal, every vision of a better Philippines must rest. UPLB has spent 117 years building that foundation. In the minds of its graduates, in the fields of its research, in the communities it has served, DHSUD is proud to be your partner in continuing that work. To the awardees and honorees who will be recognized today, congratulations. You represent the finest tradition of this institution. May your excellence inspire those who will follow you. To the students, you are not just the future, you are the conscience of the present. Hold on to your roots. They were planted in honor. Let them grow towards sustainability. Muli, sa ngalan po ng national government sa pamumuno ni President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., kami po ay bumabate ng happy birthday, UPLB. Mabuhay ang UPLB, mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Secretary Aliling, for your inspiring words to the UPLB community. At this juncture, we will be treated to a special intermission number from Ms. Rainelyn Reyes from the Agricultural Systems Institute and the UPLB Talent Pool.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Nais ko pong ihandog sa inyo ang awiting handog para po sa inyong lahat.
on stage for a photo opportunity. Halina po tayo sa taas ng entablado para sa ating picture taking. We'd like to invite UPLB and system officials to join us on stage for a picture taking.
Proclamation Day is not only commemorated to reminisce the university's exemplary milestones, but also to acknowledge the outstanding UPLB personnel who have rendered invaluable service to the university and our communities through their work in administration, instruction, research, and extension.
At this point, we shall now proceed to the main event of our program, the awarding of the 2026 UPLB Outstanding Personnel, starting with the recognition of the Outstanding Administrative Personnel. To confirm our awards, may I call on Chancellor Camacho and Vice Chancellor for Administration, Associate Professor Rolando T. Bello. The 2026 UPLB Outstanding Blue Collar Worker, Mr. Manuel M. Barriel, Nursing Attendant 2, University Health Service, Office of the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs. For his 34 years of exceptional dedication, compassion, and professionalism in providing commendable and outstanding patient care to the university and the community at large. Distinguished guests, Mr. Manuel M. Barriel.
The 2026 UPLB Outstanding Technician, Ms. Rosalina L. Tionco, Laboratory Technician 2, Institute of Plant Breeding, College of Agriculture and Food Science. For her outstanding technical innovation, integrity, and sustained excellence in advancing plant disease diagnostics and resistance screening. Everyone, Ms. Rosalina L. Tionco.
UPLB Outstanding Office Staff, Mr. Adrian L. Riaño, Administrative Officer 2, University Publications Office, Office of the Vice Chancellor for Research and Extension. For his exemplary leadership, innovation, and steadfast commitment to excellence in streamlining operations and enhancing university printing services. Friends and colleagues, Mr. Adrian L. Riaño.
UPLB Outstanding Professional Staff, Dr. Pilipinas O. Tejerero. Medical Officer 3, University Health Service, Office of the Vice Chancellor for Community Affairs. For her exemplary dedication to clinical excellence, preventive healthcare, and institutional resilience. Respected guests, Dr. Pilipinas O. Tejerero.
Office of the Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development. for strengthening UPLB's water and infrastructure systems, championing innovation and crisis preparedness, and upholding the highest standards of public service. Distinguished participants, Engineer Pamela Marie K. Gordoves.
Our next award is the Dangal ng Pamantasan. This is conferred to UPLB staff who have displayed extraordinary public service and exhibited consistent, exemplary ethical behavior based on the norms provided under Republic Act 6713. Our Dangal ng Pamantasan is Mr. Jose T. Ogalesco. Lineman 3, University Planning and Maintenance Office, Office of the Vice Chancellor for Planning and Development. For his exceptional dedication, technical expertise, and unwavering commitment to ensuring reliable power supply and system in the university. Congratulations, Mr. Jose T. Ogalesco.
For a photo opportunity. We also like to request President Jimenez to join our awardees on stage. To honor the 2026 UPLB Outstanding Support Team, the Subcommittee for Equipment under the Standing Committee on Liquidation and Compliance of Externally Funded Projects. For their exemplary initiative, inter-office collaboration, and transformative reforms in project equipment management that significantly contributed to a sustainable and accountable system. The Subcommittee for Equipment. Administrative personnel. Your hard work is indeed incomparable and extraordinary. Thank you for your commendable service.
We shall now continue with the recognition and awarding of the UPLB Agora Outstanding Research and Extension Personnel and Projects. May we request again on stage Chancellor Camacho together with the Vice Chancellor for Research and Extension, Professor Nathaniel C. Bantayan, to recognize our awardees.
UPLB Agora Outstanding Junior Researcher Award, Miss Sarah Jane B. Manaday, University Researcher 1, National Crop Protection Center, College of Agriculture and Food Science, for her remarkable contribution to advancing technological and digital transformation in crop protection. Honored guests, Miss Sarah Jane B. Manaday.
UPLB Agora Outstanding Senior Researcher Award, Dr. Rodney H. Perez, Career Scientist 1, UPLB Biotech, Office of the Vice Chancellor for Research and Extension. For his significant contributions to food microbiology, molecular biology, and biotechnology, and his pioneering research on lactic acid bacteria and bacteriocins. Friends and colleagues, Dr. Rodney H. Perez.
The 2026 UPLB Agora Outstanding Researcher Award in the Senior Faculty category, Professor Gladys Cheris J. Completo, Professor 12, Institute of Chemistry, College of Arts and Sciences, for advancing health and nutrition through glycoproteomics and biomarker discovery for lung cancer in the Philippines. Honored guests, Professor Gladys Cheris J. Completo.
Researcher Award, Dr. Nico Jason C. Anastasio, University Researcher 3, Center for Strategic Planning and Policy Studies, College of Public Affairs and Development. For his remarkable contributions toward informed policy and planning for rural development, particularly in the areas of resilient livelihoods and environmental governance. Distinguished participants, Dr. Nico Jason C. Anastasio.
The 2026 UPLB Agora Outstanding Extension Personal Award, Dr. Lorna E. Sister, University Researcher 2, Institute of Crop Science, College of Agriculture and Food Science, for her unparalleled contribution and commitment to championing inclusive development, agrobiodiversity conservation, food security, and sustainable agriculture. Respected guests, Dr. Lorna E. Sister.
Our outstanding researchers and extension personnel.
Agora Outstanding Research Project Award. Characterization of buffalo milk oligosaccharide supplement extracted from buffalo Quezon Puti whey byproducts and elucidation of its growth-promoting effects in stunting mice model. Institute of Chemistry, College of Arts and Sciences. For pioneering research that addresses childhood stunting through a circular economy innovation. Please welcome the team of Characterization of Buffalo Milk Oligosaccharide Supplement extracted from Buffalo Quezon Puti whey byproducts. UPLB Agora Outstanding Extension Project Award. Public Information and Technology Awareness Project. Institute of Plant Breeding, College of Agriculture and Food Science. For connecting science and society through evidence-based mechanisms and strategies, ensuring adoption and commercialization of developed technologies, and providing sustainable support to stakeholders. A round of applause for the Public Information and Technology Awareness Project.
Congratulations! Give it up for the 2026 UPLB Outstanding Research and Extension Personnel.
The arts remain an integral expression of the university's spirit and cultural life. We now move to the awarding of the UPLB Outstanding Artists. To confer the awards, may we call on Chancellor Camacho and the Director of the Office of for Initiatives in Culture and the Arts, Associate Professor Lawrence Marvin S. Castillo. The 2026 UPLB Outstanding Artist, Assistant Professor Jason F. Pozon, Assistant Professor 6, UP Rural High School, College of Arts and Sciences. For his steadfast dedication to social transformation through arts education, creative nonfiction, and meaningful engagement in the life worlds of the basic sectors that UP is called to serve. Distinguished guests, Assistant Professor Jason F. Pozon. Outstanding Artist, Miss Vanessa E. San Juan, University Extension Specialist 1, Office of the Chancellor. For advancing the holistic discourse and practice of sustainability and resilience through the creative and ethical weaving of theater arts, science, and community knowledge systems. Honored guests, Ms. Vanessa E. San Juan. We would like to invite back on stage our outstanding artists. Congratulations to all our awardees.
Innovation continues to define our journey forward. We now proceed to the ceremonial launching of the Agora 2.0, a renewed commitment to excellence in research and extension. In 2022, UPLB boldly introduced Agora, accelerating growth through one research and extension in action, anchored on collaboration, innovation, and public service. Today, as we launch Agora 2.0, we reaffirm that commitment, strengthening multidisciplinary partnerships, advancing food security and sovereignty, One Health, resilience and sustainability, and shaping future-ready communities and institutions. To formally usher in this renewed chapter of our unified research and extension agenda, may we call on stage Vice Chancellor for Research and Extension, Nathaniel C. Bantayan, for the ceremonial launch of the Agora 2.0. A round of applause, please.
Distinguished guests, our outstanding awardees, colleagues, partners, and the UPLB community. Since its launch in 2022, the UPLB Agora has achieved significant milestones, successfully rebranding UPLB's research and extension agenda and catalyzing a critical shift in mindset toward demand-driven and solutions-making, knowledge generation, and future-ready thinking, anchored on a solid foundation of 117 years of research excellence. This research or this strategic focus has solidified UPLB's identity among external partners, a success underscored by UPLB's recognition as the most outstanding research institution in 2023, given by Picard through the Tanglao Award. Building on this momentum, UPLB Agora 2.0 marks our transition from institutional branding to tangible, scalable, and felt impact. Through this whole of institution approach, we aim to fortify UPLB as a global powerhouse of transformative translational research to bolster UPLB's leadership through a socially relevant and institutionally supported research ecosystem. On behalf of Chancellor Jose V. Camacho Jr., it is my distinct honor to present the next chapter of our shared journey, the UPLB Agora 2.0.
3 years ago, we began reshaping our research and extension agenda. What guided us in our work is the UPLB Agora, our framework in accelerating growth through one research and extension in action. Our journey has always been one that is shared with our stakeholders. Our mission was clear when the UPLB Agora was launched: to unify our efforts so every innovation can translate to progress felt by communities. At UPLB, we took on the challenge of implementing reforms to manage project funds and digitize our research processes. All this while we initiated a whole of institution approach towards sustainability. And now, we are going further to manifest a more tangible impact, the UPLB Agora 2.0.
With UPLB Agora 2.0, the university envisions itself as a leader in transformative higher education, forging a research ecosystem that is socially relevant and institutionally supported. UPLB will continue to use artificial intelligence, omics, geospatial science, and remote sensing to provide impactful, data-driven solutions that will ensure food security and environmental protection in the Philippines and the ASEAN region. The UPLB Agora 2.0 also forwards an evolution from the traditional, environmental, social, and governance systems. UPLB is adding the economic pillar and putting the social pillar at the heart of its framework. Focusing on human and social development, UPLB shall prioritize human well-being, cultural heritage, and gender equity. And finally, UPLB is strengthening its impact measurement. UPLB shall prioritize science-based metrics in proving the depth and significance of its impact on people's lives. The 5 focus areas of UPLB Agora will transition into specialized hubs with their own signature programs. Through the Food Security and Sovereignty Hub, UPLB will pioneer and apply appropriate, acceptable technologies to create resilient, sustainable, and just agricultural systems that help drive the country's food security and sovereignty. Under the One Health Hub, UPLB will recognize the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health in delivering timely disease interventions and sustainable well-being. The Resilience and Sustainability Hub will focus on improving the social, environmental, and economic security of communities to build a sustainable, resilient future. The Future Communities and Institutions Hub will guide UPLB in promoting a future-oriented, innovative, creative, smart, culturally vibrant, safe, inclusive, and economically thriving community and institutions. And through the Social Justice and Cultural Flourishing Hub, UPLB will cultivate a deep sense of pride for Filipino cultures and promote social justice by strengthening institutional memory, fostering the arts, and challenging structures of power through redistribution, representation, and recognition. UPLB is also reinforcing its vision with accountability. Under UPLB Agora 2.0, the university will be measuring its progress through Project RISE and Project USAD, and elevating the UPLB Sustainability Program into an office to operationalize the R&E agenda. Project RISE is an analytics-driven tool that tracks how UPLB is refining its research and creative works, intensifying its extension and public service, strengthening its local and global R&E collaborations, and how it is empowering the reps workforce. UPLB will also map its every output on the UN Sustainable Development Goals through the UPLB Sustainability Analytics Dashboard in partnership with Canada's Brock University. This is accountability in action.
achieving our goals by 2050 will not be simple, but we have a roadmap to guide us. We have the systems, the solutions, and most importantly, the people. Join us as we safeguard our food, our health, our environment, and our future. This is UPLB Agora 2.0, transforming UPLB into a globally competitive knowledge powerhouse.
At the heart of our academic mission are our educators, mentors who shape minds and nurture future leaders. We now proceed to the awarding of UPLB Outstanding Teachers. May we call on Chancellor Jose V. Camacho Jr. and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Professor Akham C. Cuevas, to confer the awards.
The 2026 UPLB Outstanding Senior Faculty Award in the Social Sciences and Humanities, Professor Evely P. Serrano, Professor for Institute of Governance and Rural Development, College of Public Affairs and Development. For her passion in exploring new approaches in leveraging the teaching profession as an advocacy platform and a collaborative endeavor. Distinguished guests, Professor Evely P. Serrano.
Outstanding Junior Faculty Award in the Social Science and Humanities. Assistant Professor Maria Nova R. Nguyen. Assistant Professor 1, Department of Economics, College of Economics and Management. For her exemplary teaching performance that encourages students to engage, participate, and collaborate in building their understanding of economics. Friends and colleagues, Assistant Professor Maria Nova R. Nguyen.
Faculty Award in the Physical Sciences, Assistant Professor Ramon G. Campbell, Assistant Professor 7, Institute of Statistics, College of Arts and Sciences. For inspiring and motivating students through innovative and enriching classroom activities that enhance their learning and enthusiasm towards statistics. Distinguished guests, Assistant Professor Ramoncito G. Campbell.
The 2026 UPLB Outstanding Junior Faculty Award in the Physical Sciences. Assistant Professor Giancarlo L. Navacero, Assistant Professor 1, UP Rural High School, College of Arts and Sciences. For his remarkable versatility and excellence in teaching, research, and extension, and for consistently exemplifying academic and professional distinction. Friends and colleagues, Assistant Professor Giancarlo L. Navacero.
Award in the Biological Sciences, Assistant Professor Paul Alteo A. Bagabaldo, Assistant Professor 7, Institute of Human Nutrition and Food, College of Human Ecology. For fostering a supportive and inclusive environment that encourages critical thinking and real-world application of nutrition concepts. Distinguished guests, Assistant Professor Paul Alteo A. Bagabaldo.
UPLB Outstanding Junior Faculty Award in the Biological Sciences. Assistant Professor John Edward L. Felipe, Assistant Professor 2, Institute of Crop Science, College of Agriculture and Food Science. For integrating innovation and technology into inquiry-based learning, fostering creativity through reflexive practice, and inspiring collaborative discovery that advances agricultural biotechnology education. Ladies and gentlemen, Assistant Professor John Edward L. Felipe.
On stage, our outstanding teachers. Warmest congratulations to our outstanding teachers.
Awardees, we call on Miss Vanessa E. San Juan, 2026 UPLB Outstanding Artist.
Isang mapagpala at makasining na araw sa ating lahat. UP President Angelo A. Jimenez, former UP President Emil Q. Javier, Chancellor Jose V. Camacho Jr., sa ating panauhing pandangal na si Engineer Jose Ramon P. Aliling, sa ating mga pinuno ng universidad, Vice Chancellors, Deans, our esteemed alumni, mga kasamahan, mga katuwang at kapwa awardees. On behalf of the 2026 outstanding personnel, faculty members, researchers, extension workers, administrative staff, and our research and extension teams, we receive this recognition with gratitude and with a deep sense of responsibility. Each of us comes from different units, disciplines, and roles within the university. Some of us teach, some conduct research, some work closely with communities through extension. Others ensure that the systems of the university move, that budgets are processed, documents are reviewed, and programs are carried through. Magkakaiba ang anyo ng ating trabaho, ngunit iisa ang ugat. Ang paninindigang gampanan ng ating mga tungkulin ng may katapatan at integridad, sapagkat naninindigan tayong ang ating universidad ay naglilingkod sa layuning higit pa sa ating lahat. The theme of this year's celebration is honoring our roots, sustaining our future. To honor our roots is to remember that this university was built not for prestige alone, but for service. Its history is tied to our environments, to communities, to farmers, to public institutions, to knowledge that must circulate beyond campus walls. Across our varied roles, we have tried in our own ways to continue that outward movement. Our researchers push the boundaries of inquiry while grounding their work in relevance. Our faculty mentor generations who will carry knowledge into diverse fields. Our extension workers sustain partnerships that require trust and long-time presence. Our administrative colleagues uphold the processes that make all of this possible. Our teams remind us that collaboration is not optional, it is necessary. From where we stand, excellence is rarely dramatic. More often it is sustained, built through repetition and revision, through fieldwork and paperwork, through rehearsal, preparation, and follow-through. For many of us, that work also extends beyond the campus. Allow me to share briefly from my own location within this collective. Much of my engagement over the past 26 years has grown from the initiatives of organizations outside the university. Spaces of public service where learning happens in the field, in conversation, in community immersion. That experience has shaped how I understand my work within the university. I am especially grateful to the Arts Research and Training Institute in Southern Tagalog Incorporated, or Artists Inc., which has been a home for much of that practice. To the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or NCCA, whose programs continue to sustain cultural and artistic work across the country. And to the Performance Studies International community, which welcomed me into conversations that challenged and expanded how I think about theater, research, and engagement. No performance happens nowhere. Every story rises from a place. Every body on stage breathes air shaped by politics, climate, and memory. And the stage is never neutral. Ang ating mga komunidad, ang ating mga ugat, ang ating kalikasan at kapaligiran, ang lupa, ang tubig at ang hangin ay hindi lamang tagpuan ng ating mga naratibo. Sila mismo ay may makabuluhang ambag sa paghubog ng ating mga kwento. These spaces allowed me to grow, to question, and ultimately to find my voice in my art. They also reminded me that the work we do in a public university must remain connected to the communities we serve. Ang tunay na kahulugan ng paglilingkod sa isang pampublikong universidad ay hindi nasusukat sa parangal na ating tinatanggap, kundi sa tiwalang patuloy na ibinibigay sa atin ng mga komunidad na ating pinaglilingkuran. It taught me that knowledge must remain accountable to people, that creative practice must listen before it speaks, that public service is not a requirement to be complied with, but a responsibility to be lived. But this perspective is not mine alone. Many of my fellow awardees carry similar commitments, whether through community-based research, extension programs, or administrative reforms that improve how we serve stakeholders. The forms differ, but the orientation is shared. And so this recognition, while given individually and by team, affirms something collective, that sustained, principled work matters. Moving forward, the question for us is simple. What does recognition ask of us? For us, recognition carries a certain visibility. What we do with that visibility matters. It asks that we remain consistent in how we uphold integrity, in research, in governance, in how we manage resources, and in how we acknowledge collaboration. It asks that we continue strengthening systems so that good work does not rely only on personal sacrifice. And it asks that we mentor those who will carry this work forward. Hindi ito pagtatapos, bagkus ito ay isang pagpapatuloy. After today, we return to the work. We return to our teams and our units. We return to classrooms, laboratories, offices, and communities that expect from us not awards, but partnership. And perhaps that is the most grounded way to understand this moment. Recognition is meaningful and we are honored, but the work continues. On behalf of my fellow awardees, thank you to the university for this trust. As we honor our roots, may we continue the work entrusted to us with the same commitment to service, rigor, and integrity. At habang tinatahak natin ang kinabukasan, naway manatili tayong tapat sa ating mga tungkulin, sa komunidad, sa institusyon, at sa isa't isa. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang sining ng sambayanan.
Thank you very much, Ms. San Juan, and congratulations to the 2026 Outstanding Administrative Personnel, Research and Extension Personnel, Artists, and Teachers. As we conclude this celebration, may we call on the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and the Chair of the 117th UPLB Foundation Day Steering Committee, Professor Agham C. Cuevas, for the closing message.
Good morning. Before I close, just two things. Number one, happy birthday to Vice Chancellor Nathaniel Bantayan. Siya po ang may pahanda nitong ating lunch ngayon. Second, I would be remiss if I fail to thank the men and women behind the success of this event. Of course, the members of the Steering and Working Committee, first and foremost, the staff of the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, thank you very much. The Program Committee, led by Prof. Marion Loxway Castro and Director April Hope Castro. The Convocation and Awards Committee, Dr. Mary Ann M. Ingua and our University Registrar Marge Paterno. The Invitation and Reception Committee, led by Prof. Charina Grace B. Banaay with AVC Marian De Leon. Publicity and Documentation, led by AVP Mark Lester M. Chico and Co-Chair Assistant Professor Aldo Lim. The members of the college committees on information, media relations, and communication. And of course, for our very beautiful decoration on stage, the physical arrangement and decorations, Ms. Rachel S. Mojado and Associate Professor Vicente Balyaran Jr. Our sumptuous lunch and snacks, the Food Committee, Dr. Bienevive D. Villanueva and Prof. Faye Nguyen Orca. The Traffic, Public Safety, and Security Management, Attorney Eric Paul D. Peralta and Assistant Professor Percival Balite. Our Trade Fair, Assistant Professor Eugene Raymond P. Crudo and Ms. Cheryl Posadas. Of course, all the Vice Chancellors and Assistant to the Vice Chancellors and ang atin pong mga Diyosa ng Kaperahan, our accounting, cashier, budget, and procurement management office heads, thank you very much. The search committee for the outstanding faculty members, research, and admin staff, led by, for the auto search committee, yours truly, and of course, for the outstanding research and research project selection and outstanding extension personnel, extension and project selection committee, Vice Nel Bantayan and AVC Marian De Leon. Our program and awards and incentives for service excellence committee, led by VC Bello and AVC Roderick Havar, and of course, our UPLB talent pool. So as we conclude this celebration of the 117th foundation of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, we are reminded that our story as an institution is one deeply rooted in honor and excellence and guided by service to the nation. For more than a century, UPLB has stood at the forefront of knowledge, innovation, and public service. Today, as we confront urgent and global national challenges from food security to climate change, we reaffirm our commitment to advancing the Sustainable Development Goals through excellence in teaching, research, and extension. Our roots give us strength. but it is our shared purpose that allows us to grow. Together, as a community of scholars and citizens, we continue to cultivate knowledge that transforms lives and builds a more sustainable and just future. To our faculty and staff, our students, alumni, partners, and friends, thank you for being part of this enduring journey. Together, let us ensure that UPLB remains a place where knowledge grows, sustainability thrives, and service to the nation remains our highest calling. Mabuhay ang UPLB, mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor Cuevas. And that concludes our 117th UPLB Foundation Day Awarding Ceremony. Thank you very much for gracing our event with your valuable presence. Let us continue forging strong partnerships and creating innovations to help build our future-proof UPLB.
Congratulations once again to all our awardees for your well-deserved recognition. May these awards inspire you to continue flourishing in your respective workplaces and strengthen your expertise in the years to come. This has been your host, Jen Basaleres.
And Ronilo Jose D. Flores. Thank you and mabuhay ang UPLB! Please stand for the singing of the UP Naming Mahal and the exit of colors.
umaga po ulit. Importante pong opisina sa universidad, ang Office of the Chancellor. Maraming salamat po.